Okay.
Right, will I read this first introduction and see if you like it or not? Right?
Go on.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Pinnacle Podcast, episode 1. I'm Tiernan O'Connor.
Jamie Sherry.
Welcome to the Pinnacle Podcast. I think I've said that twice.
We're new to this. No, basically, today is episode 1 of the podcast. It is the 20th of February, 2024. Yeah, so basically, this podcast is going to be very short. It's basically just an introduction into what the podcast is going to be about, what kind of guests we're looking to bring on, and I suppose our goals. And I'll start off with that. What is your goal with the podcast, or why did you say yes to do it?
Yeah, so you're chatting to, we're bringing on guests who is in the pinnacle of their career, the best of the best, to talk about their secrets on how they got success, on their journey. And we can learn from that. Hopefully you guys can learn from that. And just bring on different people from MMA to football to social media experts to sleep experts. Everyone,
anything
really.
whatsoever.
Everyone and anything.
Yeah, no, perfect. Look, I'll give a brief introduction to myself. The reason I wanted to do the podcast is there is definitely something fascinating about speaking to people that are essentially living at the highest level. They're performing at the peak of what they're doing, whatever that industry is. And, to be able to sit down and talk to these people, learn from them, see what makes them tick, what way do they live, whether regards to discipline or whatever it may be, I think it's really interesting, and I'm actually really looking forward to getting people on and having conversations. It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. You have to start somewhere. So we've been talking about doing this podcast for a couple of years
Too long.
now. So,
Too long.
We thought we'd just get it done, get the first episode out, learn from mistakes, and go from there.
Perfect. Right, well, we have a short list of a couple of topics. Like I said before, this is only going to be a wee short podcast today, but I have a list here. So we'll start off with failure. Do you think it's important for life? Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing? What do you think about failure?
I think failure is very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
You learn from your mistakes big time. Nobody gets it perfect. I think from my own personal experience, there's times, when you feel on top of the world and everything's going your way, and it's only until these small things happen you think, Jesus, I wouldn't be where I am today unless then bad things happen. Mm-hmm. And everything's not going to be perfect. So I think failure is huge in any successful journey.
Yeah. And has there ever, whenever you've experienced failure in your life, in your business, whatever it may be, has there ever been times where it's like really consumed you and you just you couldn't see past it, or did you always kind of have the mindset of like, this is a hurdle, it's not final,
I think it's easy to have your first hurdle and give up, and that's the easy option. Just I tried it, didn't work, blah blah blah. But you need to have kind of a good mindset, a strong mindset to where you think you're the best. You have a vision. It's important to have a vision of your end goal, and then no matter what happens, that you can overcome things and just continue on your path. Because if you have a weak mindset, you'll just give up, basically.
And I suppose, do you think that's something that you're born with? Do you think that's something you can develop through exercises or a strong mindset?
Again, going back to the failure thing. I think it's something that you gain through failure. You gain
that resilience, thick skin.
Yeah, because if you don't have them fall downs in life.
Episode 1, guys, remember.
If you don't have them fall downs in life, I think you'll never get to the top.
No, absolutely, yeah. I think with me, just for the longest time and up until very recently, I've just always been the person that just I can talk to talk. I just talk all day, and to be honest, I don't know how many people over the years I've talked to, and they're telling me you blew me away there with what I said to them or whatever. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not doing anything though. I'm just saying these things, and these people are saying wow, and I'm just like, I'm behind it all. I'm not doing anything. Like, do you know what I mean? And that, like, in and of itself, kind of like cemented like a bit of a, you know, can I do this in me? Like, but thankfully, only recently, you know, you talk to different people, and I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of people that are a lot more successful than me, and they've kind of said, like, ultimately the only thing that will ever remove doubt from yourself is the actual action you take to remove that doubt, you know. And yeah, that's definitely helped me a lot. I know it's as simple as it sounds. Actually just getting up and, like you said, having a plan and just doing something. So today I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and you get it done. It's a small win, and just slowly but sure, it just eradicates the fear of failure and the thoughts of, oh, I can't do this. Like, what am I doing? Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I think that's interesting, and it kind of leads on to the next point I have here, which is patience, which is, you know, arguably just as important, you know.
Patience is huge. You think about the gym for a silly example.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I'm still waiting for any results.
Like, you go to the gym for a week, and you're like, I no results. I'm gonna give up. And that goes back to the weak mindset that you need to have. I think patience is important. It's huge.
No, it absolutely is, and for anyone who's watching this, I know this is episode 1, but going through all the episodes, I love a good quote. I just fucking love quotes. But anyway, so I heard this a while ago and I thought it was brilliant. Usain Bolt said it, and he was basically saying, he was like, it took him 5 years to run 8 seconds or whatever it was, and he was like, people give up after 1 month.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If they don't see results.
100%.
I'm just like, that's so true. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, running in particular, it's just like the minuscule improvements you make over such long periods of time. The kind of the mindset and the mental strength, resilience, persistence that you have to realistically continue to do monotonous things.
Yeah.
I know, like, for a lot of people that, you know, are just living regular lives, you know, going to the Olympics, running 100 metre, 400 metre, winning gold medals, it's amazing, you know. But for the people that train years on end, they do the same things every single day. And that's actually another quote that I love, and it won't actually come to me word for it, but it basically means, you know, it's consistency. It's doing boring things constantly will make you improve so much more than doing these amazing things every now and again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I think patience is really important. Patience is massive. But we'll move on from that, considering you just bottled it down.
Episode 1.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I have here, I actually love this topic, nature versus nurture. Like, take me and you, for example. You know, your family has such a background in, you know, an entrepreneurial way of life, you know, previous businesses and throughout the years and all that kind of thing. Myself, you know, no one in my family's ever had a business, or that I wasn't educated with that growing up. You know, it wasn't a thing that but anyway, the point is, do you feel even back when you worked in Woody's, did you always think, oh, like, one day I'll have a business?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's something that people are born with. I don't think it's one or the other. Like, I think you're either born with it. I think everyone's born with it. It's just the environment. Like, if you hang around with 5 fools, you become the 6th. If you hang around with 6 business people, you become the 7th. Like, I think who you hang around with and the group you choose, I think, is very important. Because you could have the talent like Ronaldo, but your friends mightn't play football, so you'll never know. Yeah, no, that's, you know.
I do believe that. The talent, I actually have that in the next point, so I'll leave it for now. But with regards to nature versus nurture, like, I know for a fact, this is undeniable, I 100% never had an entrepreneurial mind. I was not born with that. Like, only a couple of years ago, realistically, like, you know yourself, what did we do? Like, we went out to nightclubs and just drank the weekend, and that was it. Like, you know, go work your 9 to 5 and have no aspirations and just waste your life away, basically. And I definitely am a person who even from being around people like you and just meeting other people that are successful and just looking at the way they live their life. And I kind of self-analyzed myself. I was like, oh, like, I'm not doing any of the things that are going to lead me down the right path.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I wasn't going down the wrong path, but I wasn't doing anything productive. And anyway, the point is, for me, it was definitely nurture, like buying books, educating myself, watching on YouTube, talking to people like yourself, that made me kind of begin to think this way. Whereas before, no, definitely not born with it myself. Yeah. No way. So yeah, it's a bit of both, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a good mix of both, to be fair.
100%. So, I had this debate with someone recently, and it's an interesting debate. But what do you think of this? What do you think is more important for success to become someone at the very top, the pinnacle, for lack of a better word? Mindset. Like just having a bulletproof mindset, or someone who just works really hard.
Does the mindset person work really hard as well?
Well, of course, like, we've seen it 101 times over the course of, forever. When people have both, I'm talking about the people like the Conor McGregors, like bulletproof mindset, insane work ethic. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan. Who else is there? Mike Tyson, these kind of people. The kind of people you meet and like, they're like, I cannot be beat. Like,
yeah. And
of course, everybody can, but they truly believe that, like that bulletproof mindset. But then, I've also met people over the years where, they don't brag, they're not brash people, they're not in your face, not super, super, super confident people, at least not verbally.
Yeah.
But they put the work in like no one I've ever seen. And there's that side of it as well. And how do you measure, like, what is the path, Is it like, what do you think is more important, mindset or hard work?
I feel like hard work.
Yeah.
I feel like, you get someone who's out there 7 days a week putting in the hard work. Then it's tough as well because, like I think it's both. Like if you work really hard, you need to have a strong mindset.
Sorry.
I don't know.
No, go on.
Like I think they're interconnected. Massively. Massively.
Oh, I actually can't stop laughing.
They done so well there, didn't we?
No, that's actually good. Anyway, look, no cuts. We're raw here on the Pinnacle Podcast. We're keeping all that in. Raw. Anyway, but seriously though, honestly, with regards to mindset versus hard work, my opinion is actually quite the opposite. I believe, don't get me wrong, I'm fully aware like success breeds confidence, and your mindset and just your confidence with anything you do in life is going to grow when you've had previous success. 100%. You see it with people all the time. But I believe if hard work will get you very far in life. Absolutely it will. But I do believe if you really want to reach the absolute top, the absolute pinnacle of whatever it is you do, you have to have an elite mindset. I truly believe that.
Yeah. And
the reason I believe that is because if you are putting more work in than anyone else, or equal to the people that are putting the most work in at any given field, and the next person just wholeheartedly believes nobody can stop me, nobody can beat me, I am the number one, and the next person's like, oh well, I hope it works out, and I'm just going to put all the work in I can. Like,
that's true, to be fair, because
do you know what I mean? They're going to come out on top.
People working 80, 90, 100 hours a week then would be multimillionaires. But it's not the case.
100%, and that's kind of what I'm touching on there.
Yeah,
like, there's so many people out here in Ireland, for example. Like, you've seen it 100 times. Like, DJing at the weekend, full-time job, whether it be like, they're a Sparky or something like that, and then they're doing mixers all the time in the evenings, all these kind of things. You know what I mean? And they're just working like crazy hard, but ultimately they're just trading their time for money.
Yeah.
And it's like you're putting all the hard work in, but you don't have that abundant mindset, that thought process that tells yourself every day, I want more. I'm chasing this for more. It's just like you're just putting the work in, but you're not really learning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find that anyway.
Yeah, to be the best of the best, because you could work 80 hours a week, and have all this money and just spend it on stupid shit, and then back to square one. Like, you know, you're just a big circle. You're not getting anywhere in life.
Yeah.
So I think, to have that bulletproof mindset that you're the best, this is where you want to go, is very important.
What do you think? I read this in a book recently, and I just thought, I just found it interesting, and I'll ask you now. What do you think when people say, like, you'll often hear successful people saying it's easy to become successful, but it's hard to maintain it. Like, did you ever find in your career so far that you were like, right, okay, the last 6 months it's just got better and better and better and better and better, and you're at a point wherever it may be, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, maybe a month later, 3 months later, 6 months later, you're like, this is hard to like keep the top spot. You know what I mean? Like,
I think a good example of that would be TikTok with XXI. At the very start, we uploaded, say, 12 videos, and every single one, millions of views, thousands, hundreds of thousands of likes, and like every time you scrolled, there was like 1,000 new followers, 1,000 new followers, 1,000 new followers, and we got to a point of having almost 600,000 followers, and so that was kind of easy or lucky, I don't know what you'd want to say, of getting to that point. And then the real challenge was, right, how do we maintain that audience? How do we continue to get a couple of million views every video? And then, like, you take a couple of days off, not post, and you post again, it only gets a couple of thousand views, and then the next one gets a couple of hundred, and you're like, is it working, is it not working? I'll just give up, will I not give up? So it was really challenging mentally. I think it was easy to get there, but extremely hard to try and keep the momentum and keep...
What do you think it takes, like, or, well, maybe not what do you think it takes, but what do you think maybe you were missing at the time? What, in hindsight, you look back, you're like, I just didn't have this in place, or I wasn't thinking the right way, and if I was, I would have implemented X, Y, and Z.
Structure, I suppose. Yeah. I think, like, at the start, like, we were just uploading the videos randomly. I will do a video this day, or we've a bit of time, I'll do a video that day, when I think we should have sat down, or I should have sat down, and I should have, right, we'll record 7 days on Monday, and we'll have a video every single day, instead of coming to Wednesday, and it's 6 o'clock, and I'm thinking, don't have a video today, I'll just do one tomorrow. And then Thursday comes, and I'm like, I'll do one Friday. All of a sudden, it's a week since I last uploaded.
Yeah.
Where if I had that structure, it'd be a lot easier to maintain.
Yeah. And I suppose on that, do you think, like, I think I'm reading a book at the minute, and it's called The E-Myth, and it's basically, the kind of title of the book is Why Most Small Businesses Fail and What to Do About It. And one of the chapters in the book is, I'm sure you've heard this 100 times, but work on the business, not in the business. And do you find, or did you find, when things were just growing so rapidly and it was just going so well, that you, like, just got lost in being like, oh, we're so busy, like, I have to get this done, You're just working in the business the whole time. Yeah. Never got the opportunity to sit back and go, right, I need to work on the business. What do I do? What was working? What did I kind of drop off on? Did you ever have that moment?
100%. Like, being a small business, you don't have a finance department, you don't have payroll department, you don't have someone to order stock, to go collect stock, to work behind the counter. Like, you kind of have to do everything. So, there is weeks where you're doing, the 40, 50, 60 hour shifts behind the counter, making coffees, making ice cream, and then all of a sudden you have to add up wages, you have to send them off to the accountant, you have to run and get stock. You have to fix something. If one of the guys have a problem, you have to fix that. Holiday pay.
The list goes on.
You have to do everything. Yeah. And there's no one else there that you can turn around and say, go do that, or do that, because it doesn't exist. Yeah. You're not a big multi-million euro company that has all these departments, has HR. Yeah. So it can be very challenging.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. 100%. I have two more. So, you're opinion on natural talent?
Natural talent. I think natural talent definitely depends on your environment.
Okay.
I think, like I've seen it myself with people coming in and they're so positive, not just in proper and like that, like in other places I've worked, and they've come in and they're full of energy and full of ideas and, you know, really want to do well, and then all of a sudden they get talking to maybe someone who's been at the place a couple of years or has a different mentality, and all of a sudden you come back a couple of weeks later and this person who was full of charisma, full of energy, full of positiveness, all of a sudden they're like, why would I do that? You know, a negative mindset. So I think it really depends on your environment. But if you have natural talent, I think it's very important to use it. But do you know, like, if you have it or not, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, it can, essentially you're saying it can be drowned out if you're not, you know, if you're not putting yourself in a position to get the most out of it. You know, like, I think, for me personally, like, I just think natural talent, I think with a lot of things, I think being talented is a very limited, it's a lot more rare than people think it is. Like, I think if if you're a young lad and you love going to the gym and you say to yourself, I want to be Mr. Olympia, you have to be talented. You have to be genetically gifted to compete with these lads.
Yeah.
Like, not only are these people taking steroids, but they're also absolute freaks of nature before that.
Yeah.
I think with stuff like that, yeah, absolutely. But then, on the contrary to that, like, I worked in sales for years, and I've trained many people from day one beginner to being extremely good at sales. And, like, the idea of, like, he's a natural salesman, like, I don't agree with that. I just think...
Something you're taught.
Yeah, like, you learn how to do it. It's practice. It's just put the reps and the hard work in, and you will reap the rewards. You know what I mean? Like, and then, of course, another thing I would say as well, in my opinion, is I'd say there's a lot of people, like, let's just take, like, Premier League footballers, for example. I'd say there's many Premier League footballers that probably have natural physical abilities to be exceptional at other sports, and they've just never tried it. You know, like, ultimately I think a lot of people, this is kind of a separate point, but I do believe a lot of people do not try enough shit. Like, you hear Gary Vee saying it all the time. It's like,
try shit.
Go out and just do 101 things until you find something that you're good at.
Yeah.
And, like, for me, like, I can say, like, oh my God, like, the stock market, affiliate marketing, fucking gymnastics at one point. I was literally going to gymnastics, jiu-jitsu, like, I've done a bit of boxing, like, nothing major there, but just, like, just endless things, like. And I was like, oh, I like this, and I have this personality, I get obsessed with things for a short period of time, and then realise, oh, hold on, I'm fucking shit at that. Like, And that can be positive and negative. Like, did I ever try hard enough at certain things? But for me, it wasn't even about trying hard. It was about, like, I don't enjoy this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then with the videos, like COVID, like, I bought a course for €30. It was like a mobile phone video course. And I made, like, 1 or 2 videos. And I was just like, I actually love doing this.
Kitchen video.
Yeah. Like, the literally video of the gaff. Stayed. It was actually the worst video ever. But, you know, here I am now, like, and I just didn't give up on it. Do you know what I mean? But why did I not give up on it? Because I enjoyed it. But, like, that's people see, like, and, you know, I guarantee you there's people out there that sit and say, not about me specifically, but just about anybody who's doing well for themselves. It's just like, you know, they'll sit and they'll say, yeah, he's lucky, not everybody gets to do what they love. And my answer to that is, but I done 101 things before this that I didn't love.
Yeah.
And it's like, have you actually tried to do anything? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
The person sits there and all they've done is play football.
Yeah, or like, you know, all they've done is go to Ridley's, or all they've done is fuck all, basically. Go to their job that they hate. I hate my job. Well, then
change your job.
Leave your job. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. That is one thing with me. I have no sympathy. I have no sympathy for people that say they hate their job.
Yeah. Life's too short.
Leave your job. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I am not talking about people that have kids and bills and, like, when they're in a situation where there's nothing they can do. Like, they heavily rely on their job. I understand that 100%. But one thing that I would say to them people is there's nobody on this earth that doesn't have a spare 30 minutes a day, 60 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And the people that tell you they do, no offence, but 90% of the time they watch Love Island.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
They've got an hour to watch that.
Yeah.
They've got an hour to sit on TikTok. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If someone sits and tells me I don't have 60 minutes to learn this skill, to get me out of the life I hate, and their screen time is anything over 60 minutes, fuck off. I don't have any sympathy for that. Do you know what I mean?
True.
Like, I don't. That's where I stand with that. Like,
Back to mindset as well, isn't it?
yeah. Like, do you want it? Do you really want it? Like,
Yeah.
you know. So that's it basically. Anything you wanted to talk on?
No, I suppose, we've got a lot of guests lined up.
Yeah.
From athletes to social media personnel to a little bit of everything, to be honest. I'm excited to have some conversations with some top people. We can maybe learn a wee bit. You can learn a wee bit. And I just think it's going to be a nice wee community.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, to anybody watching this, like, I'm sure there's not many people watching this. Obviously, it's the first episode, but what I will say is, like, I agree with everything Tiernan said there. Like, ultimately, this podcast is not about what we have to say. It's very much about us drawing information out of people that have valuable lessons and expert insight into what it takes. What does it take to be a successful person? And that's why we're here. And, if you're interested in that, if you want to learn about how to better yourself, how to improve your life and live like a champion, essentially, follow us. More episodes to come. But yeah, this was just a quick chat to kind of suss us out and see what we're about, if we're bluffers or whatever.
Give us time. Give us a couple of episodes. Get comfortable.
But yeah, perfect. All good?
All good, yeah. You happy?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for episode 2.